Hey everyone, it's season 2 of Power Bytes. It's where you'll find your tips for motivation, power and success from people who've been there and done it. Our guest today is someone who's usually in my seat. So it's really fun for me to switch roles and have her sit there and get interviewed. You know the format is shorter and punchier in this season. I'll be asking my guest a couple of questions and then she will ask me one. So that's going to be fun. Our guest today is the Chief Inspiration Officer of MENA Speakers. And if that title sounds like wow, it's just a tiny bit of what this amazing woman does. So I'm just going to hand it over to her and let her tell you all about herself. Saana Azzam, thank you so much for being here on the show, and thank you for bringing baby Bump to the show. I'm so honored to have her here too.
Thank you for having us, and what a lovely introduction. Go you, second season, that's exciting.
And talking about exciting, in the greater scheme of things, all of us have like a bucket list or the big projects that we want to get done, or we hope to get done. Now the categories they generally fall into are I want to start my own business, or I want to write a book, or I want to have a baby. You could call them the 3 B's. Babies, books and business. And I don't know why, but the letter B is one I'm very fond of. Don't ask me why. So people get one of these done if they're lucky in a lifetime. So you got your business started and it's doing well. So of course, being Saana, you had to just go all out and tackle the other 2. So what I want to understand, Saana, is each of these is a huge thing in of themselves. And what they have in common is a creative drive. So what is it that drives you and has helped you in achieving all 3?
You're amazing. What a great question, and big compliment, and I appreciate that. So what's been interesting is that these ideas have been ideas for a much longer time than when it actually happened. It was like a seed was planted just early on. And then it's kind of been in the back burner somehow, and then started gravitating towards it, right? And then you end up you write your first word, you write your first sentence, and then things just start progressing. With regards to driver, my drivers have been changing throughout the years. And you also being an NLPer, sometimes we talk about giving people the choice between money, power, and fame. Or just what are some of your drivers there. And so sure, it has alternated between them. At one point when I'm in my early 20s, it actually was money. It actually was being able to create a place of stability for myself where I can completely depend on myself. And that shifted as I got older. It's not about that at all. It's about creating impact. It's about being a force of good, a voice of good. And then it's also kind of what excites me, what makes me happy. And for me, it's in those moments when things click. Do you know what I mean? You're sitting with a client, you're sitting with somebody, or you're on stage speaking, or whatever capacity, and you get that click effect, you get goosebumps, and you're just like, wow, I know there's been a breakthrough. I just felt it. That moment is very exciting. And so whatever medium that's been in, that's kind of what I've been seeking. So how can I help others get their aha moment, elevate their life in any capacity, and get the click effect, so to speak, with them. And so through business, the book, which is another medium, and now the baby.
And all of them are a form of legacy also, right, for you?
Sure. I'm not sure at 32 I'm really thinking legacy at this stage. It's more just have fun, do as much as you can, and have as much impact as you possibly can. I could be way more sophisticated. I have done a lot of these exercises of finding my drivers and my values and my mission statement. But at the end of the day, what makes you wake up is, are you excited about what you're doing? Is it in alignment with your values? Is it in alignment with who you want to be? Does it make you proud? Will it make my future baby proud? You know, so it's these type of questions that are way more gentler than just wanting to save the world.
Yes.
The save the world thing is, yes, I love it from a greater perspective
Yeah.
when I'm writing my business plan, but then it's the small stuff, like when you're tired and you're waking up.
Yeah,
It's
you,
really bad.
you hit the nail on the head. It's when it aligns with your values
Yeah.
and who you are, and then what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
There's congruence. Then you.
Yeah.
Is this something that you've tackled in your book? Would you like to tell our viewers a little more about your book?
Yes. So the book is called Leading Speakers, and it's been 2 years in the making. And it's really about a forum where I can allow more people to get access to the knowledge that I'm sitting on. So when I coach people, I tend to coach, very established executives or people in high-powered positions. And it's almost, in a sense, easy to work with them because they've been speaking a lot.
Yeah.
And so I challenged myself and I was thinking, are these skills transferable to a novice?
Yes.
And that was really the question. So I brought in an intern. And she didn't know that this was going to happen. The way we had advertised it was, we want a marketing intern to come and help us out, thinking that she would post on social media. Not at all. So she arrives on her first day and I go, hi, welcome, great. In 2 months' time, you're going to present in front of an audience of seasoned speakers and you're going to inspire us and see you. Yep, pretty much. And so I let her kind of spend a couple of days just sweating it off, just going, oh my God, what's just happened? And then she really rose to the challenge and she started coming up with ideas. And this is where I started coaching her and showing her some of the frameworks, having a few discussions and introducing her to other speakers as well. And so she was documenting the experience. I was documenting the experience. And so this is how the book Leading Speakers started evolving. It's like putting these stories together and then from a perspective of a beginner, can a beginner really become a great speaker? And the short answer is yes.
That's awesome.
And so all of that is in the book. You can literally pick it up. It's a story, but you can pick it up and you can learn along the way.
Okay, so speaking for dummies.
Speaking for beginners, yes. Yeah.
You know the series, the Microsoft for Dummies, and it's a
Yeah, I'm with you.
Context.
Yeah.
And what about your business? Because we're all about setups, and the starting mindset and startup mindset. But the hardest bit that people don't realize is when you've set up, you've got it rolling, and then you have to scale up.
Yeah.
So what do you have to advise people on that?
Interesting. Yes, so it's an interesting phase. When you're in a start business, I set it up 4 years ago. And now we're in a place where I want to grow it. And now we have an office in India, we have an office here, and getting more people on board and really entering the big strategy questions. This is completely uncharted territory. When you're a startup, every new sales is like 100% increase. You're winning. Yeah. But as a scale up, it's slightly more technical and strategic questions that I'm facing. And so having the humility to say I'm outside my comfort zone and I need help and I need the right type of support. And this is kind of where I am in the scale-up phase of getting supports from other people who are way more established. And you know that a lot of startup CEOs, when the business reaches a certain level, the board tends to move them and put in a new CEO that actually is more seasoned. So also saying I understand that might be a reality for me.
Is it a mindset thing, the startup mindset and then the scaling up mindset?
Oh, most certainly. I think it's not a mindset per se, more a knowledge and competence mindset. And it's almost a one-to-one correlation at the startup phase. Whatever the CEO is doing will lead to the direct outcome of the business. Scale up is you're more dependent on more people.
Yes.
So how do you lead and delegate and create a strategy so that it sustains itself and it's still growing? And so that's where we are right now.
Without losing track of the original vision.
Absolutely. And the core culture and what you really want to achieve. Absolutely. And it's a fantastic place that we're in. With God's grace, this is where we are today. It's exciting. It's exciting. I'm a bit concerned, but it's also exciting, of course. Yeah.
So you have these two massive balls in the air. You've got your scaling up business book that's been recently launched. And being Sana, it's like, why don't we throw another one up there? So here comes your mini me. And what are your thoughts on being a mom?
Oh, exciting. First of all, none of this is possible if you don't have the right people with you. And by right people, I'm talking, yes, staff and team members is one. A beautiful partner who's incredibly invested and present. And then friends, family, and a support system.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'm incredibly open to the idea of getting also support with, domestic help and care and all of that, just to make all of that work.
Yes.
That's really what it boils down to, having that type of infrastructure that will help you.
Yes, that's true. It takes away that superwoman pressure that sometimes we tend to put on ourselves, that we must be all things to all people.
Sure.
And be everything, to 100%.
Yeah. And I'm sure something's got to give. At some point, you have to make active choices, right? Can I be 100% there? Can I be 100% there? No, you cannot.
Yes.
And it's kind of we're planning for that, and I have been planning for that for a while. But I'm I think this is the most important chapter out of all the chapters. I think this is the biggest and the coolest thing that's ever happened to me.
Isn't it
It doesn't compare.
Yeah, I know. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
I can tell you that it is absolutely the best thing.
How was it juggling motherhood and business? Because you were, in your corporate career at that point.
Yeah. Again, like you said, it's about the network, the support that you have.
Yeah.
Beginning with a partner who recognizes that you are a person in and of yourself, and you have to, fulfill whatever you need to be complete. So that level of respect and support is number one. And then to have a very supporting family with my in-laws who were here, and then my mom coming over. So that helped a lot. And then I made the decision to be a stay-at-home mom for the first few years of my baby's life. And it didn't work out too well because
How long did that
I was frothing at the mouth, and then my husband. So I'd start going to interviews, and then I'd get the job and come back to the car and cry and say, I'm going to miss her first steps or her first word. And my husband was like, you do know you don't have to do anything, you don't have to, you can decide.
Yeah.
And then I hit the golden balance with freelancing.
Very good.
So I was able to spend all the quality time I needed with my kids, and then I freelanced for Gulf News and Khalij Times and Mashreq Bank. I was the deputy editor of the in-house magazine.
Oh,
yeah, and that's how I got into PR initially, through freelancing, with someone who was managing Zawiya and Dolphin Energy. So that was the perfect balance for me. I didn't feel that I've given up on my professional life, and I was actually gaining so many new skills.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was just there for my kids' early years. So I think, again, it's how clear you are about what you want.
Yes.
That's what I realized in those coming home from the interviews and crying sessions.
Yeah.
That if you just have this fuzzy picture, the universe itself doesn't know what to give you.
Sure.
So you have to be clear about what exactly you want. And then the path works out clearly.
Yeah.
And then you do get what you want.
I'm sure you also had to make some decisions, because there is an opportunity cost. You have to choose your 1 hour.
Yes.
Do I get a manicure or do I sleep?
Exactly.
Do I work or do I get my hair fixed? Like, what do I do?
It's so funny that my younger daughter just grew up to be this very self-sufficient child, because my older one had started going to school, and I would do interviews on the phone while nursing her, and or she'd be playing and I'd just say shh on the phone, and so she'd learn to keep quiet. So she just grew up learning how to, so it was maybe everyone's going out after work, and for me, it was quite clear, I've given you guys all these hours in the day. Now I don't need to spend the social time with you. I need to be back home with my kids.
Sure.
So, like you said, there are trade-offs, and no trade-off feels like a sacrifice, again, if you're clear about what you want.
Yes, exactly. It seemed like you were very clear at that point in time. And
yes,
Michelle, I've met your daughter. She's wonderful.
I have 2 of them, so I can promise you that every experience is different, but it's really, really an awesome. I know I've been sending you messages telling you that. Enjoy this semester, enjoy this trimester, because where.
I mean, I never realized that pregnancy now, alhamdulillah, I've had quite a smooth journey, generally speaking. But I didn't realize the number of symptoms and things that will happen to the body and how much of I'm going to say bizarre experience at times.
Now you understand why your mom uses it as the ultimate guilt trip, right?
She deserves it.
9 months. I love how we all just begin to, now I get why my mom does this.
Yeah, she absolutely deserves it. I will never, whatever she wants. I get it. It's a humbling experience.
It is.
It's beautiful, and it's just, I mean, this is my first, so it's literally just, I'm overwhelmed. I'm filled with all these feelings, all this love, and
you're going to be such a great mom. And your daughter's most probably going to come out and make a speech or something.
She's been on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
She's been on stage with me 100 times already.
Yes.
Yeah, and we took a course at Harvard together.
Oh, mashallah, such a literate baby.
We're excited. We're excited. But then it's like you want them to be whatever they want to be.
Yes.
I'm just hoping for a healthy baby.
Yes.
And that we do our best as present parents to show them the love and affection.
Give her the foundation she needs too.
You don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be an engineer, you don't have to be a lawyer. None of that.
I know. Tell us about our Arab and Asian cultures and the only options in the world. And what next, Saana? Now that you've done book, business and baby, what's next in the works?
Great. So it's always about giving back in any capacity. I was in an interesting situation the other day, and I was kind of surprised at my own answer. And somebody is interviewing. They asked me, how do you define leadership?
Okay.
Can I put you a bit on the spot and ask you that question?
Okay.
How do you define leadership?
All right. To me, leaders are people who, contrary to the notion of being out there up front, because the traditional notion of a leader is someone who is in the spotlight. And the way I see a leader is someone who is more in the wings.
Oh, interesting.
Who's done all that he or she needs to do in order to get their team to be their best, and then allow them to get out there. Because a good team is a living testament to good leadership. So a leader leads from behind, except when, for instance, say you're going to war, you lead from the front.
Sure.
Sure. So in that situation, the leader is the one who goes and takes the hit.
Yeah, interesting.
So it's this knowing when to lead from behind, knowing when to lead from the front, and always an enabling role.
Oh. Now I wish I had met you before and had this conversation, because that was clearly not my, my default answer. So my definition was more closer to a startup definition, which is making sure that your employees get paid on time.
Okay.
And that the business is sustaining itself.
Which is exactly aligned with what I said. It's an enabling leader.
Ah, okay.
Right?
That's nice.
Your enabling is a nurturing role. So making sure they're paid on time, all of those things fit in.
Yeah.
They fit in absolutely. So we're on the same page.
I'm with you, and I think your definition is really like phase 2, which is the scale up phase.
Yeah. Because I guess I'm calling on my corporate background here when I talk about leaders.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people suffer from these misconceptions about what a leader should be, and they think, it's somebody who just goes up front and center and then that's it. So,
no.
So see, again, we're both so aligned, because we know a good leader, it's not about me,
Yeah.
it's about my team.
Yeah.
So when that team, it's pretty much like being a mom.
Actually, yes. I
If
can imagine.
you
Yeah.
said, I need to let my little girl grow up and be what she wants to be, and you know,
Yeah.
become the person she's meant to be.
Yeah.
Now, if
Yeah.
you do your role well enough,
Yeah.
that'll be her stepping into the limelight.
True.
And she can do that because you enabled her to.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I love that comparison. I mean, the comparison of giving birth, I see in actually all, the discussions that we've had. Running your own business, definitely it's around the clock. Definitely, the business is sometimes so needy. You have to drop everything and just go and address it, right? Writing the book was a 2-year process of, come on, let's make this happen.
Yeah.
And then finally it comes out and you're like, oh my goodness, like it's giving birth to that idea. And then with the child, I believe in many ways there are similar processes that requires
That's
a lot of dedication.
most people refer to their businesses as their baby, their book as their baby, and their baby as their baby. So yeah, you were telling me about what you're coming up with next, Saana.
Yes. So growing the team, currently recruiting both in India and here, various positions. And then we do have, we've moved from just being a speakers agency offline, where we represent a set amount of people, to democratizing the process.
Okay.
Yeah, what we found is, want to enable more diversity of voices, more diversity of individuals that are up on stage speaking. It shouldn't only be for a specific demographic or very educated. I feel like everyone has a great story to tell. And those who want to share their story, they should be welcome. There should be a platform that allows for them to do that. And so we've created a platform called Know Who Market. Like it comes from the place of, do you know who can speak about
Yes.
X? Oh yes, I know who. Go to Know Who Market. You can actually find them yourselves.
Okay.
Where people kind of go upload their profiles, and we're helping them on the way. Those that are serious about becoming speakers, it's a great first step.
Yes.
And then we help them grow into becoming professionally recognized paid speakers, if this is something they want to pursue in a very serious manner. If not, they're happy, they're welcome to be there, and they might get discovered by a client or an agent.
Yeah.
Why not? That's kind of their call.
Okay,
but it's for free.
Up this platform. That's amazing.
It's incredible, and it's very much kind of in line with what we, what I want to do, which is to be of service to others, pay it forward, and really share this whole diversity of knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were telling me also about this collaborative book. We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. So one of the things, before I wrote my book, which was my own fully, I participated in a collaborative book with some other women that are speakers.
Okay.
And we all contributed with a chapter in a book, and it became kind of like a motivational book. You can open up any chapter and have a read and see what's going on. I love that experience so much. It really helped me visualize and see the experience of writing my own final book.
Yeah.
And so, we've collaborated here and brought it to the UAE and done the same concept. And we're collaborating with an Emirati publisher, Imam bin Sheba, with Sale Publishing. And we've kind of put together all these great authors who are now contributing with a chapter each.
That's really cool.
It's called Your Dose of Motivation. Yeah, it's lovely. So every chapter you open up should be independent and should be kind of...
And it's different speakers, so it's completely different experience each time.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
But the human angle is there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I look forward to reading that when it's out. So Saana,
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers now want to get in touch with you to find out more about speaking opportunities, speaking training. How do they get in touch with you?
Great. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram. I'm quite responsive there. Or just go to our website, MENAspeakers.com, MENA-speakers.com.
Okay.
Yeah. So any of the socials, I'm quite responsive there.
All right. So thank you so much, Saana. It's been such a joy talking to you. Left to our own devices, we could talk for days, I'm sure. We have so much in common and so much to talk about. But I look forward to reading your book and the collaborative book, and to seeing your mini me when she's out, and to hearing her first speech.
Yeah.
So good luck in
Thank you so much.
all that you're doing, all the bees, and we'll be in touch, and I'm sure we'll have you on here again telling us about something new that you've done.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Remember, you heard it right here on Power Bytes.